Hi, I'm Mackenzie Robinson, and I'm a live wedding painter here in Gilbert, Arizona. If you're anything like me, you have noticed that there's just not a lot of resources for live wedding painters. There's not a lot to go off of, especially for the behind the scenes things like consultation calls and contracts and marketing. I hope that these videos can help you with that. I'm learning too, so if you have more tips to share, please add them to the comments, because I feel like that's the most helpful thing, is just when we can learn from each other. There's not that many of us, but it helps so much to see what works for other people. So please share what works for you, and I'm going to share in this video what works for me, so that if you're going into your first call wondering what is this supposed to be like, you can see what I do and kind of have that as a starting point to adjust it to whatever feels good to you. I am definitely a textbook introvert, so talking on the phone does not come naturally at all to me. And my first consultation call just had me so stressed out. I was so nervous about it. Thankfully, my first client was just so sweet and understanding that I'm just beginning. But I still felt like I didn't really have any structure to the call. I just didn't know what was the purpose, what they were supposed to get out of it, and what I was supposed to get out of it. It was kind of just like a weird get to know you thing. And I didn't feel confident in what I was doing. And I wish that I had had a video like this to help outline what the call should be about. So I hope this video helps you. First off, before the call, make sure that you're responding really quickly to their messages. They're probably not just messaging you, they're probably messaging other painters as well. And I feel like that quick response can really start to build that relationship and make you stand out. Even if you don't have time for a detailed response right away, just say, hey, thanks for the message. I'm gonna get back to you with more details soon. What is the purpose of a consultation call? Why do we have to do this? It really helps you to get to know your client and for them to get to know you. And especially in this day of scammers, it's really good to know that you're talking to a real person and that you can trust them and that this wedding is actually happening. It's really helpful to know what their vibes are so that when you show up, you know what's going on and you're not just going in totally blind. It's also a great way for you to just share the options that they have. You might think that they've looked through all your packages and all the options and they've, just looked at hundreds of live wedding paintings, but they probably haven't. They just know they want a painter. They don't really know what they want. I don't know, maybe they do, but some people don't. And so this is a time for you to share what the options are so that they can really come out of it with the best painting possible. All right, so before the call, you'll also want to set expectations with them. Let them know that it's not going to take that long, so they don't feel like they have to block out a full hour or something. And let them know what you're going to talk about, just the options and the pricing, and get to know them. Yeah, let them know what to expect going into it, because they might be nervous too. And not everybody will even want a call, and maybe this is a hot take, but I don't think that everybody needs one. I don't think it's totally necessary. I think a lot of things can be talked about through just texting or emailing, and some clients might avoid you if you are just pushing to get on a phone call with them, because especially the younger generation, I think they might be more like me and just avoid phone calls altogether. So I think be open to just not having a phone call if they don't want one. I will typically just give them the option, would you rather talk over text, or we can schedule a phone call, so they know that I'm open to whatever they would rather do. And the phone call can be a video. It can be just audio. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I don't always look presentable, so I prefer just audio calls, but that's whatever you feel most comfortable with. Visual is good because you can share examples easier instead of just sending that after the fact. You can also try to meet in person with them. That's an even better way to build that relationship, and you could, buy them lunch or something. You'll want to be ready with your portfolio examples to show them different types of paintings and what kinds of moments they can choose. You'll also want to have your package options ready. I don't always have my pricing memorized, so make sure you've got that ready to go. And also your contract, so if they have any questions about that, you can answer it right away. When you start off the call, you can just simply thank them for reaching out to you. Tell them how much it means that they like your work and that they are considering you for their wedding. That's really a big deal. And then make the call about them. Make sure that you are asking them questions about their love story, how they met, how they got engaged, how long they've known each other. It's really good to just get to know them and see if there's somebody that you want to work with as well. After you learn more about them, you can ask them why they want to have a live wedding painter. Did they see it somewhere? Did they just stumble across your website? Did they see you on Facebook? When you ask them what made them want a live wedding painter, it helps you to understand what is most important to them about this experience so you can focus on that. Next, you can ask questions about their painting. So what ideas do they have in general? Maybe they already have the whole painting visualized and they want to tell you all about it. Or maybe they don't know and you can help them decide which moment to paint. Give them the options. Show them images that you've painted, and if you don't have a full portfolio of all the moments, you can show them other people's so that they can get an idea of what that might look like. Ask them if they want the painting to be focused just on them as the couple, or if they want more of the background, or somewhere in between. And then ask them what details are important. They're excited to talk about all the fun things that they're including in their wedding, and they can tell you what they want you to capture. Make sure to remind them that you don't have to be positioned in a place where you're going to see everything they want. You can combine different elements of their wedding into one picture. And then just ask them what their wedding colors are and what their style is so you can get a feel for what they like. Maybe they want it moody, maybe they want it airy, fun, romantic, elegant. Those things will help you as you are planning out their painting. And then I think this is a good way to segue into pricing. So ask them what canvas size they're thinking. Maybe they're not sure about that either, but you can go through your price points, your different packages, and find out what size they're thinking. They might not be sure right away, but this will help give them an idea of what you have to offer. Next, you'll want to go through the details of the day of the wedding. So make sure you know what time they want you to paint, if it's during the ceremony or during the reception or both, and who your contact is going to be the day of. You don't want to go into it not knowing who to ask. You don't want to be bothering the bride and groom on the day of their wedding. So make sure that you get the contact of their planner or whoever else is going to be helping that day. And then you want to talk them through the process of what happens after the wedding. So you'll take the painting and do the touch-ups and see if they want that hand-delivered or shipped to them and what that address will be. So you don't have to keep bothering them while they're on their honeymoon. You can talk them through that at this point. A good way to close is just to let them know what their next steps are. So if they are ready to book you right away, they're so excited, just send over the contract. Let them know that you'll put their details in and get that to them within the next day so they can look it over and sign it. If they're still thinking about things, what I do is I will hold their date tentatively for 3 weeks, and then after that point, they'll have to pay a deposit to hold the date. But that way they have some time to think about it and get back to you and make their decision, and they can be totally happy with their decision and not feel rushed into it. At the end of the call, just tell them thank you so much for your time, and then just tell them how much you would love to work with them and how much you appreciated getting to know them and their story. After the call, do not forget to follow up. That's another thing as an introvert that I struggle with. I don't want to bother people, and I don't want to be pushy, and I don't want to make them uncomfortable, but they're probably just busy. Everybody has busy lives, and maybe they didn't have time to sit down and think about all the things that you talked about. So a gentle reminder, never hurt anybody, just say, hey, thank you so much for talking to me. Here are the things we talked about. I'd love to hear back from you soon. Anyway, if this video was helpful at all, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. I'd love to make more of these so that us live wedding painters can stick together and help each other out. You're doing amazing, and I'm so excited for you. Good luck on your consultation calls. They're gonna go great.